something is happening to you right now, and it didn't start today. The universe has been preparing you, breaking you open, stripping away everything that no longer serves your soul. Because June 16th through 18th is not just 3 days on a calendar, it is a cosmic reckoning. And if you're watching this, you were meant to. The cosmic storm that chose you. Let's be honest for a moment. The last few months have not been easy for you. There have been sleepless nights, relationships that ended without explanation, dreams that felt more real than your waking life, a restlessness in your chest that no amount of distraction could silence. You have been telling yourself it's stress, it's anxiety, it's just life. But what if it was something far greater than that? What if the universe itself had been preparing you? Between June 16th and June 18th, the cosmos is arranging itself in a configuration that spiritual teachers, astrologers, and ancient wisdom traditions have described as a threshold moment, a window of accelerated transformation that does not happen for everyone. It happens for the chosen ones, and chosen does not mean perfect. It does not mean privileged. It means ready. It means your soul signed up for the harder path, the deeper awakening, the kind of change that reshapes not just your life, but your very identity. Right now, we are moving through a powerful convergence of astrological energies. The sun in Gemini is reaching its final breath before entering Cancer, a sign of emotional foundations and soul memory. The moon is building toward a significant phase that amplifies intuition and psychic sensitivity. And underlying all of it, Pluto, the great transformer, the lord of death and rebirth, is doing what it always does when we are not paying attention. It is destroying what is false so that what is true can finally breathe. This is not a punishment. This is a promotion. The universe does not tear down your life because it hates you. It tears down the structures that were built on fear, on compromise, on a version of yourself that you outgrew long ago. And between the 16th and the 18th, the pressure on those old structures reaches a breaking point. For some of you, that will look like a sudden clarity about a decision you've been avoiding. For others, it will look like a relationship that finally ends, or a door that finally opens, or a voice inside you that finally becomes too loud to ignore. The question is not whether this energy is real. You can feel it. You have been feeling it. The question is whether you are willing to trust what the universe is trying to give you, even when it arrives wrapped in uncertainty, in loss, in the terrifying beauty of the unknown. There are 7 signs that this cosmic shift has already chosen you, 7 divine signals that your soul is being called forward. And in the next few minutes, we are going to walk through every single one of them, because the more clearly you can see what is happening, the more gracefully you can move through it. Stay with me. This is for you. Signs 1 and 2. Your body knows before your mind does. Sign number 1. You are waking between 3 and 4 in the morning. This is not insomnia. This is not caffeine. In spiritual traditions across the world, from Vedic astrology to Western mysticism to indigenous cosmology, the hours between 3 and 4 a.m. are called the veil hours. It is the time when the boundary between the physical world and the spiritual realm is thinnest. It is the time when higher intelligence, spirit guides, your own higher self, or simply the universe at large, tries to deliver messages that cannot break through during the noise of your day. If you have been waking in those hours, sometimes with a racing heart, sometimes with a sudden thought or image, sometimes simply with an unexplained sense of urgency, pay attention. You are not broken. You are being briefed. During June 16th through 18th, this phenomenon intensifies. The veil is thinner. The signal is louder. If you wake at 3 a.m. during these 3 nights, do not reach for your phone. Sit with it. Breathe. Ask the question, what do I need to understand right now? Then listen, not with your ears, but with the space behind your thoughts. Sign number 2. Your body is physically changing in ways you can't fully explain. Tingling in the hands and feet. Pressure at the crown of the head. A warmth in the chest that spreads outward without warning. A buzzing in the ears. Not painful, but constant. These are what energy workers and spiritual practitioners have long called ascension symptoms, and they are your body's way of processing a frequency upgrade. Here is the science behind the spiritual. Your nervous system is deeply responsive to electromagnetic fields. The Earth has its own electromagnetic field, called the Schumann resonance, and it has been spiking with unusual frequency in recent months. When it spikes, sensitive people feel it in their bodies first, and the chosen ones, those whose nervous systems are already attuned to higher frequencies through years of introspection, trauma, healing, or spiritual practice, feel it most acutely of all. You are not ill, you are ascending. What does that mean in practical terms? It means your energy body, the unseen electromagnetic field that surrounds and interpenetrates your physical form, is expanding. It is integrating new light codes. It is releasing old density, and your physical body is doing its absolute best to keep up. Drink more water than you think you need during these 3 days. Spend time in nature if you can. Avoid crowded and chaotic environments where you will absorb others' energy indiscriminately. Give your body permission to rest. It is doing sacred work beneath the surface, work you can feel but cannot yet fully see. Trust the ache, trust the buzz, trust the strange electricity moving through your bones. Signs 3 and 4. Relationships and reality fracturing. Sign number 3. People are leaving your life or you are pulling away from them. There is a specific kind of grief that the spiritual journey brings, one that nobody warns you about. It is not the grief of death. It is the grief of outgrowing. It is standing in a room full of people you love and feeling completely, inexplicably alone. Not because something is wrong with them, not because something is wrong with you, but because you are vibrating at a frequency they cannot yet reach, and no amount of love can close that gap if one person is ascending and the other is not yet ready to move. In the days surrounding June 16th through 18th, this fracturing accelerates. You may find that certain friendships feel hollow, that conversations you used to enjoy now feel draining, that you are showing up to obligations and relationships that once energized you, and feeling nothing but a quiet inner voice saying, "This is no longer mine. Do not fight this. Do not shame yourself for it." Soul contracts expire. Not every person who begins the journey with you is meant to arrive at the destination with you. Some were meant to teach you and then release you. Some were mirrors of an older version of yourself, and some, the beautiful ones, will surprise you. They will meet you in your new frequency. They will rise alongside you. But you cannot know who those people are until you stop shrinking yourself to stay accessible to everyone. Let the realignment happen. The universe is curating your circle on your behalf. Sign number 4. You are seeing patterns, numbers, and synchronicities everywhere. Angel numbers. Repeating digits. You glance at the clock and it reads 11:11. You think of someone and they call. You randomly overhear a conversation that answers the exact question you were sitting with in silence an hour earlier. You open a book to a random page, and the first sentence you read is precisely what your soul needed to hear. These are not coincidences. Coincidence is what we call things we do not yet have the spiritual vocabulary to explain. What is actually happening is that your field of awareness is expanding. You are beginning to perceive the underlying architecture of reality, the web of meaning and pattern that has always been there but was previously invisible to you. This is what mystics call gnosis. This is what quantum physicists call non-local coherence. This is what indigenous wisdom traditions call walking between worlds. Between June 16th and June 18th, the synchronicities will intensify dramatically. Your job is not to analyze them into logical submission. Your job is simply to notice them, receive them, and follow the breadcrumb trail they are laying out for you. The universe is talking. You are finally quiet enough to hear. Signs 5, 6, and 7. The soul's final confirmation. Sign number 5. Your old ambitions no longer excite you. Something has shifted in what you want. Things that used to drive you, the career goal, the status, the achievement, the validation, feel strangely hollow. You are not depressed. You have not given up. You are evolving. Your soul has outpaced the desires of your former self, and now it is pulling you towards something it cannot yet fully name, but something that feels more true, more alive, more yours than anything you chased before. This sign can be frightening because our sense of identity is often built on what we want and where we are going. When the destination changes, we momentarily don't know who we are, but this disorientation is sacred. It is the space between the caterpillar and the butterfly, the liquefaction period when everything that was dissolves so that something higher can take form. Do not rush to fill that space with a new goal. Sit in the not knowing. Let the universe reveal the next chapter in its own time. Sign number 6. You are being called to solitude. The noise of the world is becoming unbearable. Crowds, small talk, social media, constant connectivity. You find yourself retreating from all of it, not out of anti-social impulse, but out of a deep instinct for self-preservation. Something in you knows that what is being built inside you requires quiet. It requires inwardness. It requires you to stop performing yourself for an audience and simply be. This solitude is not loneliness. It is communion with your deeper self, with the divine intelligence that moves through you, with the version of you that is emerging on the other side of this transformation. Honor the call. Protect your silence. During June 16th through 18th especially, treat your energy as sacred. You are in the middle of a metamorphosis, and metamorphosis cannot happen in noise. Sign number 7. You feel simultaneously like you are losing everything and standing on the edge of something magnificent. This is the final confirmation. The paradox that marks the chosen ones. This grief and this wonder, existing side by side, neither one cancelling the other out. You mourn what is leaving, and you are somehow, against all rational expectation, excited. There is a knowing beneath the fear, a certainty beneath the confusion, a quiet, unshakable sense that everything breaking down around you is breaking down on purpose, and that what is coming next is something your present self cannot yet fully imagine. That feeling is real. It is your soul's intelligence speaking, and it is telling you, trust the fall, because you are not falling, you are flying. How to work with this energy, your sacred action plan. Knowing the signs is only the beginning. The universe does not reward passive observers. It rewards the ones who show up, who say yes to the shift, who actively participate in their own transformation. So here is how to work with the energy of June 16th through 18th in a way that accelerates your awakening rather than numbs it. First, create a daily ritual of stillness. It does not need to be elaborate. It does not require crystals, sage, or a yoga mat, though all of these can help if they resonate. What it requires is 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted quiet every single day during this window. Sit with your spine tall, close your eyes, breathe slowly and deeply, and ask one simple question: what is ready to be released? Then listen. Write down whatever comes: images, words, emotions, memories, without judgment. You are creating a conversation with your higher self, and the more consistently you show up to that conversation, the more clearly the guidance will flow. Second, audit your energetic inputs. During these 3 days, pay close attention to what you are consuming. Not just food, but information, entertainment, relationships, conversations. Every input is energy. Every piece of content you consume, every interaction you engage in, either raises your frequency or lowers it. Be ruthless about protecting your field. Turn off the news if it drowns you. Step away from social media if it agitates rather than inspires. Choose music that elevates. Choose conversations that nourish. Feed the transformation, not the distraction. Third, make one courageous move. The universe does not ask you to leap blindly into the void, but it does ask you to take one step. The step that you have been postponing because you were afraid. Send the message. Have the conversation. Make the decision. Start the project. Leave the situation. Whatever that thing is, the one your heart already knows and your fear keeps delaying. June 16th through 18th is the window to begin. Cosmic energy windows do not force your hand, but they amplify whatever action you take within them. A small move made during a high-frequency window carries the momentum of 100 ordinary days. The universe will meet your courage with extraordinary support. Fourth, practice radical self-compassion. Transformation is not graceful. It is messy and disorienting and sometimes deeply painful. You will not do this perfectly. You will have moments of fear, of grief, of doubt. And in those moments, the most spiritual thing you can do is not push through or rise above. It is simply to be gentle with yourself. Hold yourself the way you would hold someone you love. Say to yourself, I am in the middle of something sacred. I do not need to have it figured out. I just need to keep going. That is enough. That has always been enough. The bigger picture. You were made for this. Here is what I want you to understand on a level deeper than thought, deeper than strategy or spiritual practice, or the intellectual understanding of cosmic cycles. I want you to feel this in your bones, because this is the truth that the universe has been trying to deliver to you through every sign, every synchronicity, every sleepless night, every relationship that ended, every dream that dissolved. You were not broken by what you have been through. You were built by it. Every loss that leveled you, every betrayal that shattered your trust, every version of yourself that you had to grieve, every night you lay awake wondering if you would ever feel whole again. None of that was wasted. Not a single moment of suffering, not a single tear, not a single dark night of the soul. None of it was meaningless. It was all curriculum. It was all preparation. For this, for now, for the being you are becoming. The chosen ones are not people who were handed an easier path. They are people who walked the hardest path, who descended into the depths and came back carrying something the world needs: their wisdom, their compassion, their healed hearts, their light. And right now, during this extraordinary window of June 16th through 18th, the universe is completing a cycle that began for many of you years, and in some cases, decades ago. The lessons are integrating. The wounds are alchemizing into wisdom. The cocoon is splitting open, And what is emerging is not who you used to be, dressed in new clothes. It is a version of you that your former self would have found almost unrecognizable, bolder, softer, clearer, more grounded in love than in fear. This is your emergence. And yes, emergence is uncomfortable. Yes, it is disorienting. Yes, there will be moments in the coming days when you feel completely undone. But underneath the undoing, if you are still enough to feel it, there is something extraordinary. Relief. The relief of no longer pretending. The relief of no longer performing a version of yourself that never quite fit. The relief of finally saying to the universe, to yourself, to everyone who asked you to be smaller than you are, no more. The world needs what you are becoming. Not the polished, perfect, palatable version, the real version, the awakened version, the one who has walked through fire and emerged carrying warmth rather than ash. So as June 16th, 17th, and 18th move through you, and they will move through you, not around you. Let them. Open your hands, release your grip on the life that no longer fits. Trust the current. Trust the cosmos. Trust the deep, ancient, unwavering intelligence that brought you here, to this video, to this moment, to this threshold. You were made for this, and you are ready. Before you go, I want you to take a breath, a real one, because what you just received is not just information, it is an activation, and you don't need to have it all figured out tonight. You just need to remember 3 things. 1. What is leaving your life right now is making room for something your soul has been calling in for years. Trust the release. 2. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are transforming. Stay the course. And 3, you are not alone in this. Right now, all around the world, other souls are standing at the exact same threshold you are standing at. Other hearts are feeling what your heart feels. Other lives are breaking open in the most beautiful, terrifying, sacred way. You are part of something bigger than yourself. If this video found you today, it was not an accident. Nothing on your path ever is. So go gently into these 3 days. Go with open hands and an open heart. And when the universe moves through you, and it will, let it move through you completely. Because on the other side of this threshold, something extraordinary is waiting, and it has your name on it. If this resonated with your soul, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Hit subscribe, because this journey is just beginning, and drop a comment below telling me which of the 7 signs you are experiencing right now. I read every single one. Until next time, keep trusting the process. Your awakening is right on schedule.